Hello, everyone. Welcome to HealthPod Africa, where we have conversations on healthcare and related issues in Africa, with the aim being to inspire action towards patient-centered care, as well as promoting improved access to affordable and quality care, as well as resilient and sustainable health systems. I am your host, Cynthia Oloch. In this episode, we'll be discussing special needs parenting, and I am joined by Caroline. Hi, Caroline.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Caroline Serem, and I am a mother to a son with special needs. His name is Zane. We all call him Peanut. We call him Peanut. He has a condition called duplication 15q syndrome. Now, this is a condition, it's a genetic condition where, let's just put it mildly.
Before we get there,
all right,
maybe we go to the beginning and tell us let's start from your pregnancy journey.
Cool.
How was that? And then were there any signs at that point? So we could start from your pregnancy journey and we take it from there.
All right, cool. My pregnancy was pretty much normal. No complications, no nothing. Other than the fact that I went over my due date. After that, I had to be induced because I was given an extra week. After that, the doctor said because I was geriatric, over 30.
Geriatric pregnancy. Yes. I wish they could find another term.
I know, right? Like we're in crutches. And yeah. Anywho, so I had to be induced. So that's when all the drama started. My water broke. Then the baby went into distress. So then now I had to undergo an emergency C-section.
Okay.
So everything went well, surgery, in and out. Baby came out. He was feeding. He was out of hospital. Just normal, normal, just other than the normal baby crying, blah, 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 which is normal for a newborn.
Yeah.
So we went on like that until around 6 months. When you go for the 6-month clinic checkup, then the doctor realized that he was not trying to stand. So by then, my baby was very chubby. So I just assumed, he's just a healthy baby.
But he was sitting?
Not really. You had to prop him up.
Okay.
So then now those were concerns. So then now they started therapy. I mean, OT for him because they noticed he has something called weak muscle tone, basically. So he couldn't stand. And also his feet were not planted firmly on the ground. So to start with, we had to wrap his feet in bandages.
Okay.
So
at this point, are you looking for a diagnosis or
no?
No,
we've just been told he's not able to stand, so we need to correct feet.
Okay.
Yeah. So we do the wrapping of the feet. Then after a while, we had AFOs. AFOs are those shoes like for Forrest Gump. That's what I thought the first time when I was told he has to wear AFOs. He wore AFOs for a very long time, until around 9 months. So between 6 months and 9 months, we were doing therapy for his feet, so and to make him stronger and everything. In the course of all that OT, then now he's what do you call him? His doctor told me, I've seen something, and I want you guys to run a test. So we were asked to do a test for something called mosaicism. Mosaicism is like trisomy 21, but the generic version. Let me say that the softer version of.
How does it present itself?
It presents just low muscle tone, delayed milestones, and there's a slant in his ear that's very telling.
Okay.
Yeah. So we went and did that. They had the test done. It came back negative for trisomy 21. But then they discovered there's an extra chromosome. So when the results come back, we're told there's no trisomy 21. I'm like, yay! But there's an extra chromosome. So then now we had to go and do another test. Yeah. To find out what exactly the problem was. That's when we discovered he had something called duplication 15q syndrome.
Okay. So chromosome 15 is duplicated.
It's duplicated, exactly. Okay. Just to be as simply, it's duplicated.
Okay.
It has very many dots and numbers after it, but just to be easy, it's 15 that's duplicated. So then now this condition presents with low muscle tone, which is hypotonia, delayed milestones.
Okay.
Yeah. Autism. My son is also on the spectrum.
Okay.
And it also presents with intellectual challenges and or disabilities. And yeah.
Okay. So at this point, how does the support around you look like? Support from family, support from medical care providers, healthcare providers. How does the support look like? Mental health?
At that time, I had not told many people about it because I didn't know what it was. And I wanted to be able to have answers to anyone who was asking me, yo, what's wrong? Yeah. So I didn't want to say anything until I was very sure. And even when I was sure, you're wondering, how do you tell people do 15Q? How do you start? You know, even for me, it was a bit challenging because I'm like, I have to read, I don't understand. And when I was being told about this diagnosis in the hospital, they didn't bring it out as seriously as it was. Yeah, you're just told, you might have some challenges, the child might have seizures, just be watching out for this and that. But in the meantime, we do therapy, he will be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So at this time, there was not really family support because I had not said.
Okay.
So it was just me and hospital and the baby's father.
Really?
Yes.
For how long before you tell anybody else?
Ooh. I told them officially we got an answer at around 1.2 years. That is when I was now beginning to, I'd started prepping them. Something might be wrong. I will tell you, but let me just do more tests. So from around 1.2 years, that's when I started talking to my family about it. Yeah.
And how did the support look like?
They were confused first. They were like, what is this? You know? So then now I have to go back and say he's autistic because that's the only way that they might be able to understand. So my dad, it was a bit of a struggle for him to understand. I think until today, he doesn't really get it. I don't know if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Or he's hoping he will grow out of it or something will happen. Yeah. So, but support for my family has been great. It's been good.
It's excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. In terms of, so we've talked about support from family.
Yeah.
How about support from the community? Have you been able to get support from maybe patient support groups?
Yes.
Or a community which can assist in this journey?
Yes. Okay. So at first, I joined there's a group called TTR Through the Roof. It deals mostly with autistic kids.
Okay.
Because there is not a duplication 15Q case that has been properly reported.
In Kenya?
In Kenya.
Okay.
There might be there, but a diagnosis is a problem. You see.
How do you manage duplication 15?
You just... Okay, what I've done, I'm not sure if it's correct or not. I've just been managing it like autism.
Okay.
Other than watching for the seizures and, because basically he has all the traits of an autistic person.
Okay.
Yeah. So the only difference now with his DUP15 is that chromosome that is replicated. So I've just handled it like autism, make sure I do developmental checks every now and then. Just and watch for the seizures and you see, basically, yeah.
How old is he now?
He turned 4 in July.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were talking about support from patient communities. How is that?
It's good. But like I said, I joined TTR first because I'm like, there's no DUP15 group. Then one day I'm just minding my business on Twitter. Then I see rare diseases. So I contact the person, Christina Mtena, what's up? And then, so we meet and then we talk. Then she tells me about the patient, the group that she and Rosalind founded. And then I joined. So for me, it's been like, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. It's bad. We're not going to sugarcoat it. We're not going to say it is well, it's not. But at least I know I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I have moms who are going through the same journey more or less. Because I realize most of us moms, we all have OT in common. You know, you're specialists in common. You know, you know where to get this. Diapers go up. You know, those kind of things. Yeah. So they've been actually, they hold me up. Yes. Most of my really good friends are moms from that group.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
It's good that you have a support system. And sometimes I think having a support system is almost like therapy, I feel.
It is, because you sit down and you just talk away. No one judges you. They they don't stop you. You just talk what you want.
And they get it.
And they get it, yeah. And even if they don't, the journeys are kind of the same, but they're also different.
Yes.
So even if they don't, they let it be. And then just keep on checking on each other. So for me, that's what it has given me. It has given me community. There are things I tell them that I can't tell my other friends or my family, you know. So for me, that's a really, really, really good thing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
You mentioned that Peanut is 4 years old.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he's in school.
He is.
What is your view on the education system, particularly with respect to special needs children?
Okay. To be honest, I think we're ways back when it comes to education for children with special needs. Because reflecting on my own journey, there's a school, I will not name names, because I'd gotten to a point where I was like, okay, fine. He needs to start getting independent. He needs to start knowing how to do things, because if he doesn't start it now, by the time you grow up, you're set in your way. So it's going to be kind of difficult to revert. So I went to a school, they assessed him. They asked me for a fee for assessment, and they told me, come to school for a week, we will watch him, and then we will gauge where he stands. For a fact, I told them he's not yet walking. He's 3. He has delayed milestones. He's not yet speaking. He cannot even communicate. Then they told me, no problem. So we went. A week in that school, there was no OT the whole time. So the person who came to see me was a speech therapist.
For those who don't understand what OT is.
Oh, sorry. Occupational therapist. Sorry. Yeah, so the person who came to see me at the end of the day was a speech therapist, which I felt, honestly. Anyway, long story short, that week came and went. And when I was following up, they kept on giving me the run around. Then finally, I went there to camp because I needed to know, am I sticking with this school or am I going to look for somewhere else?
So the assessment was 1 week?
It was 1 week.
Okay.
Yes. So then now they told me, oh no, I'm sorry, we can't take him. He's still not walking. But I'm like, I told you he's not walking. He's snacking all the time. I'm like, he's a toddler. That's what they do. You know, he gets freaked out by noises, but I'm like, he's autistic. So it's a thing. So for me, when they were saying integrated, it wasn't really integrated.
So the school had no capacity.
That is it. No capacity, no personnel.
Yeah.
Because I was his shadow teacher for that week.
Okay.
So you see, for me, the only thing I know how to do is mother him. If he wants a snack, I will give him a snack, you know. So I'm not able to tell him, no, sit. And at that time, he's still discovering things like, oh my goodness,
as kids do.
Yeah, I can bunny hop from here to there, you know? So I was very disappointed. I was really, really mad. So then I had to go back and now reset because in my head, I'd said, my son is not going to a special needs school. I'm sorry.
Why?
I felt like I failed. I felt like I don't want to disrespect the schools. I know they do a lot, but I felt like my son was not going to get the care that he needed. Yeah.
Why did you feel that? If this special needs school is made to give him the care that he needs?
Because I visited some of them.
Okay.
You could see the dilapidated, you're like, at that point, my son is not walking. So that means who is going to stay with him? How is he going to, Yeah. And then most of them are kind of like, there's one which was a kind of like a boarding school. But then there was also the option of driving to and from. But still, I was like, these facilities are not the best. Not in a bad way, but it is what it is. I think parents out there would testify to that. But I think some people are trying to make a difference. Some schools are trying to make a difference. Yes.
So you finally found a school?
So I finally found a school which took in my son. And that is where he took his first steps.
Amazing.
In under a month.
Amazing.
Yeah. I'm not giving props to the school. Maybe the universe just agreed, it aligned, it collided and something happened. But you see, for me as a mom, those are things that you never think you'd see your child do. You go and visit your friends with kids who are 1.5 and they're busy walking. Do you know that thing that you get? You're not supposed to get, but you're human, you know?
Yeah.
No one expects to fall pregnant and then not have an okay baby, you know? Yeah. Everything's supposed to be okay, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And no one ever prepares you for that stuff. No one ever prepares you. Yeah.
Have you done therapy? If you don't mind me asking.
I am in therapy.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I am in therapy. I started therapy after the final, diagnosis. Yeah, because I was unraveling, I had lots of changes going on, so I needed help.
Okay.
I needed help.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that's good. I did therapy when I lost my son, and by the time I went for therapy, I had been in support groups. And by the time I got to therapy, I feel like half the work had been done for me.
Yeah.
Because I had a community of people who understood. And so we would talk a lot with them. And by the time I got to therapy, in fact, the therapist told me, you look like you've already done some work, like by the time you're getting here.
Yeah.
But I still went just to make sure that, am I processing okay? Am I dealing
okay?
You know? So yeah, so I think it's important.
Yeah, because I think your group was specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine, you see, now I felt like I felt like an imposter, imposter syndrome. So, so I'm like, so even when they're talking, I'm like, okay.
Like mine is different.
Yeah. It's not the same. And, you can't tell people, you understand. Yeah. So I think that's one of the main reasons, because I felt like I'm alone, but I'm not alone.
Globally, have you come across any patient community?
Yes, I have.
Are you in touch with them?
There's one in the States, and one I think in South Africa. Yes.
Okay.
So we're in touch, but now catch is they're supposed the one in the States, they have their meetings at 4:00 in the morning, 3:00 in the morning.
When you're asleep.
When you're asleep or trying to fight with the baby to go to sleep, you know. So it's a bit nini.
Yeah.
And then the other one, they were supposed to give me a patient's name, but I don't think they didn't give consent.
In Kenya?
So, yeah, apparently that is what they said.
Okay.
So I'm still yet to follow up on that.
Okay.
But if you ask me, I think there's a lot of this, but it has just not been determined what the problem is. Because, it's also costly.
True.
Yeah.
Was diagnosis expensive?
Yes.
Okay. In a private hospital?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm guessing there may be other people with the same condition, just not diagnosed. Yeah. Because it's rare. Yeah.
Because you see, for the DUP15, the blood has to go outside of Kenya. It has to go to India.
Yeah.
So you can imagine.
Okay.
Yeah. There's also now the modality of picking up the sample safely, So, yeah. So I think there's a lot of it out there. It's just that it is not, not a lot. There are some cases.
Yeah. Just underdiagnosed.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, we've talked about your experience with the education system.
Yeah.
And I'm aware that there's a bill in Parliament, the Learners with Disabilities Bill, which seeks to create an environment where learners with disability can obtain education and learn, as is expected, right? So what is your view on the Learners with Disabilities Bill? Do you think it's going to bring about change?
First of all, it's a very good step. This is a 2023 bill.
Yeah.
I think it would. The question here now would be, who is going to bat for this bill? Who is in Parliament ready to implement this bill? How are the monies going to be,
Yeah.
And you see, when you're talking about disability, I've learned that, I've seen, I don't know, I might be wrong, disability is mostly physical. Not mental.
Yes.
So when it comes to that, then how are we categorizing it, Yeah. I think it's a very good idea. It's just that could we push? Can we get more people involved? Can we sign petitions? If we're able to sign a petition to have someone impeached, why can't we do this for our kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's a good idea. We just need to find a way to push for it.
Yeah, because it has been in Parliament for quite a while.
Exactly.
For a year, I think.
Because that means no one there has the will to push it through.
And maybe it's not a priority for the legislators.
Because you see now, that will fall under education. But is it really, if it's education, that's fine. But are you comparing, special needs education with kawaida, so there's a lot of kinks that needs to be worked out. Yeah.
For it to work.
And we have to push for it. You just don't put a bill there and then we sit and say, iko hapo. Yeah.
It would need to serve the people for who it has been enacted.
And you see now, we are seeing advocacy in these major towns. So if you're looking at the arid, semi-arid areas, there are people who are just like our kids, but they have no voice, no one to shout for them.
Yeah.
I think I'm aware there's a guy who comes for this rare disease day meetings. Is he from Garissa or something? Imagine.
He comes to Nairobi?
He comes for the meetings, yes.
Wow.
I think it's either Garissa or something, but
that means there's a gap.
Yes, there is.
And there's no community out there, I guess.
There isn't. And you see, these are the people who hide their kids.
Yeah.
You know, you're born with a malformation.
Because of lack of awareness, I guess, within the community as well.
And then traditions, you've been cursed, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine all the way from, if that guy can do it, how did he get that info? So maybe, I don't know, maybe he just fell on a page or something or other. We need to shout more.
That's true.
Which I think RDK is doing a very good job at. That they need to shout more and until we get heard.
Yeah.
Somewhere, somehow, something is going to give, something is going to break.
That's true.
Yeah.
Is there anything that the government can do? I mean, we have the Council of, what is it called? NCWPD.
Yes.
The one that is responsible for people with disabilities and putting in place policies that ensure that people with disabilities are taken care of and that have systems and structures in place like to support them. Is there anything that can be done at that level, especially with respect to, first of all, creating awareness and also rights of people living with disabilities? I've heard complaints in the past about people saying that for one to get a disability card, sometimes they want to see, like you said, a physical disability.
Exactly.
And there are many invisible ones that you won't see.
You won't physically see, but someone is actually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what can be done to ensure that this is addressed?
I think we just lobby some more because honestly, like even this card issue business, if someone gets it, what are the benefits of getting it?
Yeah.
You know? Because there's a point where they said there's a, there's going to be some tax rebate. But I think all that it's still being discussed.
Okay.
It hasn't come through yet.
So not yet implemented?
Not yet implemented.
Okay. So right now you don't see a benefit, at least from the public side?
Honestly speaking, I don't.
Okay.
I don't, especially, you see, like now my son is 4. So you see, that card is supposed to benefit him. You see?
Yeah.
And he only gets benefits after 18.
Really?
Unless I'm wrong.
After 18?
Yeah.
Okay.
You see? But you see now, this council should be in charge of collecting data. What is what? We need a database. We need to know how many do 15s are there, how many you know, if we are dividing resources, who are we allocating it to and how much? Who's going to be in charge? You cannot leave the same people in charge of the kawaida education system because it's just going to, it doesn't marry. It doesn't.
In fact, a recurrent theme I've had across all the episodes we've had so far is data. Lack of data, lack of data, and that data is needed to inform policy. Yeah. All the episodes I've had so far, the recurrent theme has been data.
It's true.
So I guess it cuts across
the
all
board.
spheres, And it appears to be evident that maybe our policies may not be backed by data.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate.
Very, because even if you're to ask for funding, what's your basis? Yeah. What's your basis? So are you helping one person? Are you helping a million people? Yeah. Data is very important, and I hopefully we get our act right. I really hope so, because I think we struggle a lot as parents when it comes to medicine, education, caregivers, diapers. Yeah. You know, some of these things. If a pair of jumbo Pampers size 7 is 2,000 and they're only 36, how do you live? Yeah. Some of them are not big enough, others are not absorbent enough. It's expensive. Yeah, it's a different circle of hell. It is. It's a pity that healthcare is, like, people who can pay will get better healthcare. It's true. It's unfortunate. Yeah, but it's true. Yeah. It's quite unfortunate. Hopefully, Shif will hopefully once fully implemented, yes, there shall be a change. We hope. We can only hope. Yeah. We can only hope that things get better.
Yeah. Now, looking back on your journey, what advice would you give to someone who's just starting out on this journey? Like, what do you wish you knew? What would you have done different? Or what word of encouragement can you give such a person?
Looking back, I wish I had talked more. That is what I wish, because I was so worried, very concerned, very stressed, very all up in my head. I wish I would have voiced my concerns more. I wish I was brave enough to, just say, okay, fine, there's something wrong. I'm not sure. Someone please help me. Yeah.
So ask for help.
Ask for help. Yeah. Because that the time that you're not asking for help, that's a ticking time bomb.
And it's affecting you mentally.
It's affecting. And then if you can't take care of yourself, who's going to take care of your babies?
Exactly.
No one will do it better than you. You'll have the nannies come and go.
Yeah.
Stories of our lives, Today they come in the morning, in 2 days they're gone, I wish I'd have spoken
How has
earlier.
that been, by the way, with special needs parenting in terms of help in the house? Do you train your nanny on how to, or do you get someone who's already trained?
I have to train, because getting someone already trained is costly.
Okay.
It's costly. So what I did, once I found out about his autism, I would encourage them, talk to him, try and straighten him, make him walk around, just small things, talk to him. These things that usually you think it's something nondescript, but I would encourage them. So I don't really get a trained nanny, but I talk to my nannies. Like now my nanny knows when he's hot, we know what to do, Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so first thing you've said is you would advise someone, talk more. Talk to people, ask for help.
Yeah.
Anything else you would advise?
I don't know, just keep the faith if you have it. Yeah. Honestly, because at the end of the day, for me, talking is what helped. Researching. You see, now I know difference between a seizure, a febrile seizure, and a proper seizure. Research some more. Involve people who are close to you. Don't close yourself off, because that's what I did for a while. Yeah.
Support is very important.
It's important because some of these things you can't change them.
Yeah,
you cannot change them.
You just have to
learn to live
with it.
Yeah.
How is Peanut? How is he doing now?
Oh, he's great. He's a happy child. He's a very loud child.
That's nice.
At least now he's sleeping through the night.
Amazing.
Oh my goodness. And that was one of the signs that I should have looked out for, but I didn't know.
Not sleeping through the night?
Yeah, for autistic kids, it's a thing.
Okay. But even kids who are not autistic.
No, but this one is on another level.
Okay.
It's on another level.
Like how many times would he wake up at night?
Oh, there was a time I was waking up every 2 hours.
Really?
And he's not breastfeeding. Yeah.
But now he's sleeping through the night?
Now he's sleeping through the night. If he wakes up, at least now he can soothe himself back to bed.
Thank God for milestones.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So I'm seeing them slowly but surely. The walking is getting better.
That's good.
He's walking longer. Yeah, so I'm happy. I'm happy with the progress. I could ask for so much more, but this is what I've got.
Yeah.
So I deal with it and take it and say thank you.
Before we started recording, we were talking about his recent school trip.
Oh yeah, he went to Mombasa for a week without me.
Imagine. That is such great news.
I haven't even been to Mombasa for a trip. I've been anywhere else, but not to Mombasa.
Really? And you let him go with the school?
Yes, I let him go to the school. They had an arrangement. I just had to pack his clothes, do a menu for him. And
How many days?
5 days.
Okay. And you said you didn't call?
Nope.
Didn't he miss you?
I asked myself that a lot.
Didn't he cry?
But when he saw me, he was like, oh, that's his sound for excitement.
Amazing.
He didn't cry. He doesn't cry when he's in school.
Okay.
Funny thing, he doesn't cry when he's in school.
Okay, so it means he's comfortable in his environment.
Yes, he's very comfortable
and
there.
with the people around him.
Yeah. And I couldn't be more happier.
I'm glad he enjoyed
He enjoyed himself.
His solo trip without mommy.
His solo trip without mother.
No, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Great. So any parting shots before we wrap up?
I'm grateful for this chance to speak out, so maybe people out there will now know, I've gone to church with my kid and, he's being fussy and and then you're being given the side eye and you're in church. So people need to understand that, you know what, these things are there, these things happen, and we need to accept and embrace everyone despite their challenges.
That's true.
Yeah. And also give people support.
Yeah.
Because I'm now seeing a lot of people starting to give special needs holiday camps, things like those, to give parents reprieve, training nannies.
Yes.
Yeah. So these organizations, they're doing a really good job.
That's great.
We need to support them. We need to, show that we're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your story.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You were so willing, and I'm so grateful.
I don't even know if it made sense.
No, you did.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
And I'm sure someone listening has learned from your story.
I hope so.
And I'm sure someone has been touched, or someone will feel I'm not alone.
Yeah. That's the whole idea. You're not alone.
Yeah. And that alone helps.
It does.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.